sounded like I was being really sarcastic when I said that, but legitimately, Chinese food is a really Christmassy thing. So, certainly, I think so. Like every Christmas Eve, I always get Chinese food. It's great.
It's become it's going to be my tradition now. I fuck cooking on Christmas Day. I can do a roast any time of the year.
Yeah, and when you got that like that one guaranteed day off, you want to just have it as a day off and just relax. You don't want to be running around.
Yeah.
Cooking 16 different vegetables and 12 different meats.
Yeah, because if I was doing a roast, I'd go the whole hog and then I'd be in the kitchen all fucking day.
Cooking a whole hog.
Yeah, so I ordered a mountain of hog that somebody else had cooked for me, and it came in delicious various sauces.
Excellent. That is the modern dream there, folks. And there was a segue. It's gone. I'm very tired. Welcome back, listeners, to Tales from the 20 Side, a Pathfinder 2nd Edition Let's Play podcast. My name is Dom, and I'm your GM for this game and for many others. And I'm joined by Stu.
Hello.
I'm joined by Darren.
Hello.
And I'm joined by a very sleepy-looking Amy today. Hey, folks, how you doing?
Hello. Is my sound working?
You're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
You are quiet, though.
Yeah.
But,
Sorry, this hasn't been set up for a little while, so...
It has
that's
been
all right.
I'll try and fiddle around with it. Give me a sec.
We're there talking about Christmas, but happy Valentine's Day, listeners.
Is that when this one goes out? Is it on Valentine's Day? Close to it?
Close to it, yeah, 11th of Feb.
Oh, wow.
I'm glad you said that, because I
it's
just
not
for a
that
second
far.
thought, fuck, is it Valentine's Day?
Well, it's not that far for us here in the real world.
In the real world, yes.
Cast. Yes.
Yeah,
So that's true. We
14th.
Yeah, that's it. Every year.
That's it. Sorry, I had a slurp of coffee. Welcome back, folks. It has been a very long time since we were all together like this. I think, obviously we've been releasing episodes every week over the Christmas period, but I think for us it was, middle of November we were last recording together?
2 months to the day, 21st of November.
Yeah. Wow. It's been a long old time. How's everyone been? So, Stu, I know you've been busy being a seasonally significant character.
Yes. When I've not been busy having heart attacks or turning 50, yes.
Were the two related by any chance?
Well, kind of, because, yes, I've got high blood pressure because of my age, so yes, sort of. But no, when I was my seasonally significant character in the Grotto, actually seeing a family, I had a mini heart attack.
Jesus.
But I only had to wait 2 hours for them to get covering so I could go home, but yeah. So it was only a mini one. Otherwise I wouldn't
What a world we live in. What a world we live in.
Such is life. They told me in A&E to take a fortnight off. I'm like, you're joking. Hey ho. But no, I've been resting up ever since, and I'm now on tablets to lower my blood pressure. I mean, I'm the most chilled guy ever, right? How can I have
most
high
of the time
blood pressure? I mean, except when I go on a rant.
I think the reason you have high blood pressure, Stu, is because you read the news. It's a very infuriating place out there at the moment. Although, I say that, I assume it is. I've actually disconnected myself from a lot of stuff recently. I don't really have a clue what's going on right now.
I can tell you we've got a new Prime Minister. No, we've got a new king, though. We've got a new king.
Fun.
Yeah,
Apart from that.
I mean, I'm grateful for the extra. I'm grateful for the extra bank holiday that we're going to get because of it. But other than that, I really don't care about the monarchy. I'm not a royalist, in case anyone hadn't guessed. Absolutely not a royalist. There we go.
I don't think about them.
Yeah, I've gone most of my 32 years on this earth without really concerning myself with what they do up in the palaces, and it served me quite well, so I'm going to continue doing that, I think. But there we go. So, how's Darren's sort of couple of months been? What have you been up to, mate?
Working, doing my theatre course, working, doing my theatre, just repeating that over and over again. Apart from over the Christmas break, where I had maybe like a week and a half of doing absolutely nothing. Literally just all I wanted to do was just sit in my pyjamas and not have to think about anything or anything I had to work on. So yeah, it's been alright.
I did that. Yeah. I did that over. So the week after Christmas, affectionately known as Gooch Week, because it's kind of the bit in between. Doesn't really do anything. I was obviously off work because our Christmas show finished on Christmas Eve. We weren't open again until January, and I was away the first week of January as well. So I spent that entire week. I don't think I left the house more than once, just binging through loads of box sets that I've missed over the last few years, which was good fun. Sounds like you had a much the similar week to me, Darren.
Yeah, pretty much. Played lots of games, watched lots of TV, ate lots of cheese.
Ate lots of cheese, drank all the rum I got for Christmas.
I didn't do any drinking. Drank lots of tea.
Good, can't beat a cup of tea. Nice cup of tea. Okay. And Amy, how's your few months been? Been up to anything exciting?
Nah, not really. It's been fine, but nothing much to report.
Good. Well, sometimes, sometimes boring is nice because it means that nothing particularly catastrophic happened. We'll take boring. We'll take boring. But yeah. So welcome back, everybody. Does anyone remember how to play Pathfinder? Because I'm not sure I do.
I think so. I remembered my dice.
What are we playing?
We're playing Snap.
I don't remember what happened last time we recorded. I know that much.
I was here last time you recorded.
If I remember it correctly, the way you play Pathfinder is the way I play most games, which is identical to a game I play called Silly Buggers.
Can you elaborate on how to play Silly Buggers, Stu?
It's something I've known inherently. I've always played Silly Buggers, and I'm good at playing Silly Buggers, and I'm never going to stop playing Silly Buggers. So that's a fair warning to our listeners.
Fair enough. Well then, folks, as we're all collectively trying to remember exactly what it is we're doing here, shall we just get straight back into it, see if we can collectively figure it out between us? Yeah, do you want us to do a recap? Because it has been a couple of months for us. It has been it has indeed been a couple of months. I'll tell you what, if you feel you can manage a recap, Stu, please go ahead and give us a recap of the last gaming session. See if Amy's and Darren's and my own benefit as much as the listeners, because I haven't got a fucking clue. I can't lie. So we're into the woods to find the dancing hut of Baba Yaga that has been trapped there, keeping her prisoner, so that we can throw some blood-soaked stuff into a cauldron and free her. And on the way, we encountered a rather unusual woman. Who didn't quite seem to know who she was, who we later got the name Casey Harron, I believe. Casey Haran, but yes. Casey Haran, sorry. It's because it looks the same when I've written it down. And it turned out she was... not an eidolon, a emissary? Like she's like a human representative of like a goddess. Almost an avatar. Avatar. Almost an avatar. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And I will add that the team don't know this for certain, but you're sort of based on, I think it was Ryden's knowledge of Milani's religion. You've guessed that this is who this person is. You don't know for certain, but it's a pretty solid guess.
We've sent her out of the woods to meet up with the Knights of Summer's Return, and before she left, she blessed most of us. Those of us who would let her touch us.
I seem to remember something about that.
Yeah.
Yes, she went to wipe some of her blood on your forehead, and you were like, "Nope, get the fuck away from me."
Yeah, I vaguely remember that. I mean, just some randomer walking up to you and be like, "I'm just going to wipe a bit of my own blood on your forehead."
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
Mate.
It's a bit weird.
No, get away from me.
There you go.
But this is a world of magic, and we've got blood-soaked objects about our persons as well.
Yeah,
We,
when you think about it, is a girl walking out of the forest saying, "Can I wipe some blood on you?" more or less weird than an old guy falling out of a magic portal and saying, "Cut my throat and bathe these objects in my blood"? Is it more or less weird?
Tune in next week to find out. I don't have an answer to that. I think I cut his throat with such precision that I got no blood on me.
That's
But
it.
the holes I've punched through people and stuff, I can't. Yeah, I've got nothing, mate. You're right. I should have just let her do it.
Never mind. Well, perhaps a missed opportunity there for Amos, but he'll never know exactly what he could have won.
I will find someone else's blood to wipe on me soon enough.
I'm sure you will. So after you had escorted Casey Harron out of the forest and she had blessed you, what happened next there, Stu? Do you remember?
No.
Okay, well, at that point, I will tell you what happened next, because I think we've hit the limits of what you remember there, Stu. And that's okay.
Did you tell us last time?
Did I tell you last time what did I tell you last time?
No, did you tell us?
Oh, yes.
I'm just like...
Yes, we did. We played a little. We played for a little bit after that encounter, and you actually went back into the forest, and in the clearing where you could sort of travel west toward the pool of water that you encountered previously. There were two other directions that you kind of were choosing from. There was the clearing sort of stretched north into darkness, and it stretched. There was an opening to the east as well, and you elected to go down the eastern path because you heard the sounds of somebody calling for help. And as you followed that path, you encountered what looked to be a house that had clearly stood in the market square before this forest had arrived. A tree had sprung up from underneath it, and you could see that there were two small boys in this house calling for help, which is more or less where we bring ourselves back in. So, unless anybody has any questions about what I've just said, I think we'll just jump straight back in. So yeah, these two boys are they're up in this house, which, as you can see, it would have once sat on the ground, as houses not normally do. However, it appears that when this forest sprung up, a tree kind of sprung up directly beneath this house and has pushed it some way into the air. And you can see that there are these two boys. Sort of from inside the hut, who are calling down to all of you, "Help us, please, help us!" What do you wish to do?
Put creepy children in.
I will add this path. So this path you're following, it sort of bends around towards the north and continues off into the darkness that way. So you've kind of got three options here. Your first option is to obviously interact with this house. Second option is to continue past the house and continue northwards. Or the third option is to turn around and return back to the main clearing through which you originally entered. Sorry, Amy, you were saying something there a second ago.
Della will sit down.
Della sits down. Perfect.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to go rescue them, aren't we? I mean,
can we see the boys?
Go on, sorry.
Can someone sort of watch my back a bit in case they turn into anything nasty?
I suppose so. Come on then, let's do it. Let's just go in and do it.
Does the tree look scalable?
It does look scalable. However, what I will say is, as you sort of go to inspect this house, like this house has literally been lifted up by this tree that has sprouted from the ground beneath it. You can see that it certainly is scalable. However, the building looks to be quite precariously balanced. You'll have to be quite careful as you're climbing up, not to shake it loose.
Or do we send a rope up so that the children can climb down?
Okay, so what I will say is
them?
This tree has lifted this house a good 30 feet into the air.
Can we see these children?
Yes, you can. You can see that there are these two young boys who are sort of. They seem to be looking out of one of the windows. You can sort of see their head and their shoulders sort of leaning through the window itself.
Do they look normal?
Can either of you do like a detect magic type thing?
No.
And look for traps?
I can't. Can you, Ryden?
I'm sorry, darlings. I'm having I got a bit of a migraine from all that. Got some of that blood in my eye. Just need to clear it a moment. She starts wiping her eye.
Interesting accent you've developed there, Ryden.
Yes, well, it's been this is a strange place. The magic obviously has strange effects on my voice. I'm very sensitive to magic, you see.
So are we just going to go in then?
I mean, one of us ought to, and then maybe if one of us goes up carefully and lowers a rope down, then they can.
Yep. Okay.
And Alwyn's he's giving side eye to Della.
Well, while you're doing this, Della is going to shout up at these two boys and ask how they got up there.
How do we get up here? This is our house. We live here with our father. He's fallen. He's fallen over. He can't get up.
When did this happen?
A few days ago. I'm not sure how many. It was very sudden. It was not long after Queen Elvana brought that hut into the marketplace. We woke up one morning to hear the ground rumbling, and then all of a sudden there were trees shooting up everywhere, including this one. Before we knew it, we were lifted off the ground. Please, you have to help us.
Can Della think if trees can do that?
Sure. Della can make a nature roll. Actually, I'll make it for you. What's your nature modifier?
It's 10.
10, okay.
I rolled a 20.
Okay, I mean, looking at... based on what you know of this forest, Della, this is clearly a magical forest, meaning that these trees themselves are also quite magical. And certainly looking at it, looking at the tree itself and the damage done to the building, it looks as though that matches with their story. It looks as though this happened very, very suddenly, and this building certainly appears to have been pushed skyward by this massive tree erupting from the ground below.
It's way above my head.
30 feet above your head, to be precise.
Well, the father's injured. It's going to have to be me, isn't it? Go up to heal the father.
Oh, I have a rope. And I think I'm reasonable at climbing. So, how about I go up with a rope first, and then you can come up.
Okay.
Okay, let's do it one at a time though first. Yes.
Yeah. I'll
tell
go
you,
up
Amos,
and, secure a rope.
we'll get ready to catch the children in case they fall. Yes.
Okay.
Well, I'm only little, so I'm assuming the dad is a human man, which might be a bit hard for me to carry on my own. Do you want to come up as well?
Oh yes, but I'll come up once you're out of the hut. Otherwise, it might be a little
I'll
bit
check to see if it's got sturdy. Yeah, it might be fine. Is it looking like it's rocking a lot, or does it look pretty?
I mean, it's the tree and the house looks stable for the moment, but you can see, sort of looking at it, it looks quite precarious.
Okay.
If you are going to climb up, you'll need to be careful doing so.
All right. Okay. Careful then.
So I'm just trying to find something. So bear with me. Please do continue talking amongst yourselves.
What would you like us to talk about, Tom?
I leave that up to your discretion.
The decline of
I'll
the
start
textiles
tying
industry.
knots in the rope.
To make it into like a rope ladder. It's a good
Easier
idea.
to climb.
Make it easier for the kids to climb down, yes.
We're not just going to throw them down.
Well, the children.
I mean, how much
just lob
damage
them
do
out
you
the
take
window.
with a 30-foot fall?
Well, I thought we were going to catch them.
30 feet is not... Well, I mean, no, it'd still be easier if they climb down. It's just in case they slip. We're ready to catch them.
Oh, okay.
And you can grease the rope if you want.
I mean, that makes more sense than just
To make it
launching
easier
a child
for the
out of the
children to
window.
slip off.
But I just like the idea of having to do an athletics roll to catch a child.
All right.
It sounds like Della wants to murder a child and Amos wants to save
Well,
him.
I'll start sabotaging the knots I've been putting in. Don't do that.
It's a new year.
Yeah. New
That's it,
year,
it's
new
full-
Della.
It's a full moon. Della's feeling a bit itchy. Yeah, we haven't had enough dubious morality in this group since Otto's been away. So Della's sort of trying to fill that gap.
Yeah. It's murder the children.
Awesome. Okay, I've found what I was looking for. What is the plan here, folks? What would you like to do?
So Della's going to climb up with a rope that she's been tying knots in for handholds and stuff. And then I can fasten said rope once I get to the top, and we can see what the situation is there. Start
Perfect.
ferrying the children down.
Perfect. That sounds perfect. So, in order to get up the tree, first of all, Della, that is going to require an athletics roll, please.
Okay. $18.
18. Okay. As you start to scramble up this tree, Della, you start scrambling up the tree, sort of quite quite deftly, quite nimbly, and just as you get to about halfway up, you get perhaps a little bit overconfident. Your movements are just a bit too energetic, and you start to see the house above you begin to shift very, very slightly, and almost as a response to that, you stop what you're doing. You lose your grip slightly, and you slide back down the tree. It's not enough to get up there, I'm afraid.
I was greasing the rope, not the tree.
Can't you use your daggers as sort of like crampons?
The necklace wouldn't work for that, and I don't have that many daggers.
Why not? As long as you keep hold of your dagger, you won't be letting go of it, will you?
Yeah, good point. Can I pull out two at the same time if I hold?
Yeah, I don't
know.
see.
I've never tried that.
I don't see why you
I've got
can't.
a spare dagger I can give you.
Oh, I don't want to use a normal one.
Okay.
It's got to be
damage the
got to
blade.
be the magical ones.
Yeah, it'll damage the blade otherwise. Okay.
Yeah, I don't
try that.
I don't see why you can't have two daggers from the necklace at once.
Yeah, they only disappear after a round if they leave my hand. So
yes,
if I hold on to them, I can try and climb up that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I sort of. So in that case, let's have another athletics roll. I am going to give you a bonus to this as you're using a bit of ingenuity.
I'm going to use my hero point.
Okay.
Alwyn, how
13.
high do you think I can throw a little person?
Sorry, Della, what was the roll?
13.
13. Ooh, okay. So this time,
It's not my forte.
as you start sort of sinking these daggers into the wood of the tree, and you start hauling yourself up, Amos and Alwyn, you see as Della begins to get once again about halfway up, you see the force she's putting into getting these daggers into the tree. The tree is shaking quite violently, and you can see that the house shifts and shudders quite significantly. What do you do?
I think that's a bad idea.
Kids, jump!
Jump? But that's
Yes.
really high. What about our daddy?
We'll catch you! We'll sort him out later. Quick! The house is going to fall.
Okay. As you sort of shout this, you do see that the house sort of groans and creaks, and it settles once again on the branches. So
wait!
It has shifted. It has shifted quite significantly. What I will say is, if there were to be one more failure of that magnitude, that house is going to come tumbling down. But it seems to have settled for now.
Maybe Brother Amos ought to be going up.
I'll give it a go.
Feel free.
How athletic? I mean, I'm guessing Brother Amos is pretty damn athletic.
Yeah, he's not bad. But that won't matter if I roll a shit number.
Alwyn is going to hand over 2 daggers so you can do the same thing that Della was doing.
Okay. So I'll tie the rope off around my waist and
Sure.
attempt to climb the tree.
All right. Okay. Let's have an athletics roll from Brother Amos.
14.
Do you wish to keep that as a 14?
No, I don't. I'll use my hero point.
Mm-hmm.
My athletics are 12, and I rolled a 2.
Whoa!
Again.
No, that first roll.
Oh, okay. What was the second roll?
I haven't rolled it yet.
Okay.
Keep your hair on.
I've got a lot of it to keep on. All right. Can lose some
25.
25. There we go. This time, sort of seeing how this structure has shifted. Amos, you take these daggers from Alwyn's hand, and following Della's lead for much of it, you do manage to haul yourself up this tree. As you pull yourself up to the sort of broken decking of the house itself, you sort of haul yourself up onto it. You feel it shift momentarily beneath your weight, and you brace yourself for the worst. Then once again, the house settles, and you find yourself up in the house, Amos.
Okay. I will do a little check on the dad.
Yeah. So kind of as you get up to the house itself, you can see that you're kind of stood in what was once perhaps a small living area. The front of the house has kind of been torn away, and you can see these two boys are stood on looks to be an overturned dresser of sorts. You can see a few clothes have spilled out over the ground. They were kind of stood on that to kind of look over the window, and you can see in the far corner, propped up, kind of on an elbow, very much drawing like one of your French girls. You can see there is an older human man who you can see that one of his legs is crooked at a very uncomfortable looking angle, shall we say?
That's going to sting in the morning.
Yeah, and you can immediately see, Amos, that this man has a broken leg, but he does at least appear to be conscious.
Okay, so I will. I'll get the children down.
Sure thing. How do you want to get the children down?
I will have them just like one on my front, one on my back, holding on to me.
Oh, you're going to climb back down with them?
I'm going to climb back down with them. Oh no, wait.
You should jump.
Right.
Do like a superhero power jump.
It's 30 feet, right? My movement speed is 35. Does that mean I can jump 35 feet?
No, it does not.
No,
I mean, you've survived taller falls, right? From a certain dragon.
Shark. Yeah, there was the time I threw that dragon.
Yeah, indeed.
Would the children survive Amos landing on them?
I was about to say, looking at these children, they look sort of reasonably waif-like. You can tell they haven't eaten properly in sort of quite some time. This seems to be quite a poor family. You sort of look at these kids, Amos, and as much as you can survive a fall from 80 feet in the air, you're not certain that they can be the same.
Here's what I'm going to do then. I'm going to tie a rope around one under their arms and lower them down, and then do the same again.
Sure thing.
For the other one, and then the dad, do the same for him, maybe, depending on how easily he is moved.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you can see that he at least is conscious, so he won't be dead weight, if that makes sense. So he may be able to sort of assist in keeping himself stable, that kind of thing, as you lower him down. But you want to get the children down first. So as you sort of step into the room with the rope, you see the man on the ground sort of looks up at you as you enter, Amos, and he says, "Oh, thank the gods you're here. Those assholes in the Winter Guard, they saw we were trapped and they just kept walking. Thank you, sir. Please get my boys down first.
Yep.
Travis.
I mean, that's what I'm doing.
Travis, Krina, come here. Go. The nice man here is going to get you down. Sorry, son. What's your name?
My name is Amos.
Amos.
And your name?
My name's Karen. It's like Karen with a D on the end. Don't worry, I'm not going to ask to see your manager. And you see these the two boys move away from the window, and they sort of move nervously towards you. But with their father's encouragement, they come to you, Amos, and you begin to tie rope around them. Okay, and you want to lower the first child down?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's have another athletic. This will just be a strength check, actually, for that, as you're sort of lowering that down.
Okay. Where is it? Oh, there it is. I've not looked at my character sheet for so long.
No, that's all right.
Which child's going first? Just because we know that Darren has used his hero point in this session.
Yeah, I have, and I wish I hadn't, because I just rolled a 1.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Right, let's stretch this out to the next session then.
And that's where we leave it for this evening.
Sit down, have a cup of tea before you do anything too strenuous.
Okay, so Amos, as you begin to lower this first child down, boy, named is Travis. You start moving him. You sort of tie the rope around him, and you start lowering him over the edge of the house. As you start lowering him down, the sudden. It's not a clean drop. As you sort of go to abseil him over the edge of the house, you see he slips at the last second, and rather than being lowered over the side, he falls. You're able to catch hold of the rope to stop him from plummeting to the ground. However, this sudden extra movement, he acts like a pendulum, and you feel a rumble as the house starts to shift once more. Alwyn and Della, you see this house begins to slide off the tree. What does everyone do?
Panic.
Get in position to catch the child.
Yeah, that's probably the best thing we can do.
Yeah, and I just brace myself and try and make sure that I avoid the worst.
I mean, Alwyn's getting ready to catch the child. He's going to look at Della and Ryden and say, "Run, you fools!"
Don't need to tell me twice. Ryden backs away from this impending doom.
Knew she was evil.
So, but that's not possible because you checked, right? You asked her.
Yeah, you asked.
All right. So, Amos, as you feel the tree begin to slide beneath you, you're just holding on and bracing and trying to sort of wait out the worst of what's about to happen here.
Yes.
All right. Okay. There is a crash and a creak and a crumble, and you feel the house sort of tip fully onto one side as it slides off of the of the tree. I need everybody. I need everybody to make a reflex saving throw, please.
Ooh.
As the tree comes as this house comes tumbling down.
Now, does that include Chardonnay? Because I did say to everyone around, run your fools.
I mean, it's this has all happened so quickly. Nobody's really had enough time to get fully out of the way of this. Like this is quite a large house. It's going to sort of smash quite heavily across the ground. It looks like
18 for Alwyn, dirty 20 for Shard.
Okay. And Fidela?
I got 30. Oh, sorry.
And Fidela, sorry?
At 24.
24, okay. So, Amos, I can tell you, as you sort of brace yourself, that is going to be a critical success for yourself. The DC of this effect was 20. So I think the only person to fail here was Alwyn. As this house comes tumbling down, Amos, you're able to swing the rope once more. You swing Trevis clear of the tree itself, letting go of the rope as you do so. He rolls in a heap and coughs as he kind of gets painfully to his feet. As he does so, this house topples completely to the ground with a loud crash. Sort of bits of masonry and wood and all sorts of things go flying everywhere as this house just scatters across the ground. Amos, you are able to throw yourself clear just at the right second. You take no damage. Chardonnay and Della, you again see this coming. You're able to avoid the worst of it. You're going to take 10. You take 7 points of falling house damage. And Alwyn, you are not quick enough. Sort of in the moment you take to shout for everyone else to get back. Your own reflexes are not fast enough, and you take 15 points of falling house damage.
And how many points of damage do I take from the ring?
You take...
the ring.
You take a further 4 points of damage from the ring as it contracts around your finger once more.
Okay.
Right.
Alwyn
and
is
there
still
is
alive.
Good.
Oh, I am not in a good way unless I gained health in the last session. As I wasn't playing.
Think you did, unfortunately.
Okay, cool. That's fine, as long as that's the same.
Something you wouldn't be aware of, you did get a lesser healing potion. Because we each got one out of that lockbox that you found.
Was I there for that?
No, you weren't here for the last session.
No. Okay. Thank you.
The session before ended as you opened it.
Yes. Pretty much. There is the screech and the rumble and the crash, and you hear a terrified scream come from inside as this house tumbles to the ground. It smashes on the ground in a pile of rubble, and as it hits the ground, the three of you pick yourselves up from the ground, sort of coughing and spluttering from the dust. You can see the boy that Amos was was lowering down, is lying on the ground, sort of clutching his arm, and appears to be crying in pain. You hear no sound coming from inside the house. What do you do?
Oh no.
Alwyn's going to scramble through the wreckage of the house, first of all to look for the other child. He's going to ignore the crying one, because first rule of first aid, if someone's crying and complaining about their injuries, they're not that bad.
Yep. Well,
or
at least
in comparison,
if they're making noise, they're not dead. Is what he's thinking.
Yeah, exactly. I get that. Yeah. So Alwyn's going to scramble through the wreckage. I mean, if he comes across the father first, he comes across the father, but... Yeah.
Perfect. So, do you know what? It's been so long since I played Pathfinder, I can't remember what the skills are.
Perception.
Let's have a little look.
Or maybe survival, I don't know, because it's looking through things.
Yeah, it is.
That's more of a perception thing, isn't it? Gotta be.
I feel like it should be more. There's got to be one that's more active than that. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We'll call that a perception roll, Alwyn, as you're sort of digging through this.
Okay, 28.
Oh, did Ryden just like completely disappear, or is she nearby still?
She's nearby still.
Oh, because I'll call out to Ryden about, because you could talk to people in their heads, right? Could you talk to them? Yes,
I can. I can see if they're. I can try. Yes. You see, she closes her eyes. You can see her whispering to herself. She stops whispering after a moment. That I've got no response from the boy. I can try the father, but I've not seen him before. Yeah. So in the meantime, because we're kind of in initiative, but also not. Okay. So Alwyn, what was your perception roll?
28.
28. Okay. You dive straight into the rubble, kind of looking for the window area where this child was standing originally, and you're sort of heaving through the rubble itself, and quite quickly you come across the small unconscious form of the young boy. He looks to have sustained quite a nasty head injury that is bleeding quite profusely. What would you like to do?
Lay on hands.
Okay, so you cast Lay on Hands on him. As you place your hands onto him, you see he coughs and he splutters, and he appears to come back to consciousness.
Okay.
As you're finishing up with that, Alwyn, Ryden says, "No, it's no good. I can't. I've got no connection to the father either. Then I've not seen him, so it could be that I haven't seen him before."
Did you want a roll for healing? Oh no, I don't.
With Lay on Hands,
that doesn't happen. No,
that's it.
Yeah, I'm being an idiot. I'm going to keep looking for the father.
Keep looking. Let's have another perception roll. What's Amos doing while this is happening?
Oh, I will chip in and
perfect.
Shift rubble.
All right. Let's have a perception roll for yourself then Amos.
Dirty 20 that time.
Dirty 20. Okay.
17.
17. Okay, you're digging through the rubble. This house has collapsed in quite the large heap across the ground here. There's a lot of rubble to sift through. The area you're searching, you do not find the father. What do you do?
Alwyn will keep looking.
Oh yeah, keep looking. Yeah.
Keep looking. Okay, let's have perception rolls again. What is Della doing anything at this time?
Della is feeling a bit fragile to go look, but she can offer moral support to the injured wailing child.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's fair to say you've just had a house dropped on you. There's a good chance
I'm not feeling great.
That Della's in. She's in some degree of shock. That's absolutely fine.
Who'd have thought that we'd have the concept of houses falling on people in an AP about witches? Anyway, with the 19 on the die, I got a 30 that time.
Excellent. Okay, and for Amos,
I rolled a 20 for 30.
20 for 30, so 30s all around. Very nice. So as the two of you coordinate your search, you eventually find You do find, as you sort of start hauling through the rubble once more, you do eventually find the man himself. He appears to currently be stuck under quite a sturdy section of the roofwork. But you have found him. You look like you can get to him. He also appears to be unconscious.
Let's move into a more comfortable spot.
As you go to pick him up, Alwyn is going to call out to Caden Cayley and cast Desperate Prayer.
Mm-hmm.
And cast Lay on Hands on him.
Okay.
To be clear, that's on the father, not on Amos.
Yes. Yeah. Perfect. All right. So I can tell you that will stop the ominous secret rolls I was making behind the screens there. You as you lay hand onto him, Alwyn, you also see the man sort of coughs and splutters and begins to come to consciousness. However, he is currently still trapped underneath this oaken beam.
Oh, can I lift it? If I lift it, Alwyn, you get him out.
I pull him out. Yes. Are you ready there, sir?
I lift it. You pull him off.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Right.
All right.
Hands hooked under his
athletics
arms.
Athletics roll from Amos.
27.
27. Sort of setting your feet, getting a good position with your arms. You set your feet, you squat down, and with a single heave, you lift the beam up. And Alwyn, you quickly drag the guy free. And as soon as Alwyn has pulled the man free, Amos, you release your grip, and this oaken beam slams back into the rubble. And at that point, we are, at least for now, fully out of danger. As you pull the man and the boy free from the ruin of their house.
Right. Well, that all went to plan, didn't it?
Yep.
If that's what you call going to plan, I'd hate to see what you think's a failure, lad. Oh, sorry, I don't mean to be ungrateful, but thank you. You saved my life, you saved my boy's life. But that could have been a bit less painful.
I'm sure. Right, in fact, let's get your boys over here so I can have a look at all of you simultaneously. As Alwyn will start using Ward Medic to treat wounds on the... I can do it on 3, I think. Can I? Or is it just 2?
You tell me.
Up to 2
that allows you?
targets.
Up to 2 targets,
Up to
okay.
2 targets.
So
I was going to say I'll do the father because that leg looks nasty, and the boy that was crying.
Sure.
That Alwyn,
yes, as you get to
got out first.
As you get to the boy Trevis, who the other boy who was thrown from the house, you see he's kind of cradling his arm, and as you get closer, you immediately recognise that he has a broken collarbone from where he landed quite heavily.
Right.
Yeah, you sort of pull them both. You pull them both together, and you start. You start treating them. So let's have a treat wounds on both on them, please.
I'm going to do it at the trained level.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a 22 on the first one.
Perfect.
And a 32 on the next one.
Excellent. So, yeah, easily enough, Alwyn. These are injuries, although they can be quite catastrophic to a lot of people, particularly the poorer classes. A broken leg for a lot of people is almost a death sentence if they can't afford to get it healed. You're easily able to set it and splint these injuries. You fashion a sling for the boy. You're able to set Karen's leg and splint it with a few pieces of fallen timber from around the area. They certainly appear to be in no immediate danger. You appear to have saved their lives.
Right, and the other lad seems okay-ish. Just do a quick sort of look over at him.
I mean, you take a look over him, Alwyn. You think that he although he took quite heavy beating from the fall, it appears that he was sort of trapped beneath the bed as it fell. So he was kind of cushioned from the worst of the falling rubble. And
okay.
Also, your magical healing, you've restored him, basically to sort of full strength. Any injuries he has appear to be superficial at worst.
Okay. Right. There we go.
So as you sort of finish making your rounds of medicine on these people, the man Karen sort of looks over at you and he says, all right, sirs. Thank you for helping us. I'm sorry I got a bit heated a moment ago. It was well, a man's mind gets flustered after he's almost died, wouldn't you say? Thank you, sirs and ladies. We're in your debt.
Understandable. Nothing to apologise for. And if it's any consolation, we can tell you with great experience that you do get used to it after a while. Nearly dying happens to us a lot.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll be honest. Once were enough for me. But each to their own, I suppose. What's happening? We've been stuck up here for a couple of weeks now. Food was starting to run out. You came by at just the right time.
Right. Well, we're off to free Baba Yaga, who's been trapped by her daughter, and it's a lot of tyranny going along. It's not very pleasant. Hopefully, we can make you a better place.
Hopefully, sir. I don't know. I don't know much about no politics or no saving the world, but you've thank you again, sir. Do you know the way out of this forest? We've seen beasts prowling around outside. I don't think it's safe for us here.
Alwyn will look at the others. Do you think we should escort them to the edge?
I think that might be a good idea.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Yes. We'll help you to safety, or as much safety as we can provide. Anyway.
Yeah.
Thank you, folks. I didn't presume to ask that. I was just asking for the way out. I mean, the boys can help me walk. We just need to know the way is all. But if you're happy to escort us, I certainly shan't say no.
Well, like you say, there's lots of beasts, and it does seem like it's been a while since you've had a good meal. Speaking of which, I was going to go into his backpack. He's going to sort through his various potions. His hand's going to hover over the potion of Featherfall that he has and sort of like think, oh, fuck. The ration tonic that he has. Yeah, he's going to get out the ration tonic, however, and hand that over to the man, along with...
I forgot I gave
quite
that to
discreetly. Quite discreetly, he's also going to hand over a platinum piece as well. At the same time.
Okay.
So you keep that safe.
You say discreetly. You've just given this man more money than he's probably ever seen in his life, and let's just see how well he controls it. He doesn't control it at all. You press it into his hand, and he looks at it, and you went, oh my, sir, are you sure? No, I can't take this, sir. That's a lot of money, sir. I can't be taking that. And he starts trying to press it back into your hand. You saved my life, sir. You don't have to pay me. If anything, I owe you something in return.
No, just well, I'll tell you what. Whenever you come across people and if you hear mention of us at all, then you tell them that we're not shits.
Mention of you, sir, and who exactly are you that I'm hearing mention of?
Oh, we are the fish you... No, we decided against that. I don't know, we're just random agents of chaos. Well, I'm Alwyn. Anyway, it's a Chardonnay.
Alwyn, all right. Well, I mean, he's still trying to press this coin back to you, Alwyn.
I was not going to let him. Just kind of close the man's hand around it.
Well, sir, you are a generous soul. Thank you. God bless your steps, I suppose. All right then. If you want to, if you're gonna escort us out, let's get going. There is something I want to give you to say thanks, but it's it's buried somewhere in that, and he points over to the pile of rubble that was his house. If you want to have a look for yourself, if you can find, there is a small blue box with sort of brass trim on it. Inside that is something I gave to my late wife years ago. If you can find it, you're welcome to it. You saved her children today. She'd want you to have it.
Well, are you sure it's not something you'd need for a memento or as a keepsake, as a sentimental value?
I've got mementos and keepsakes aplenty up in here, and he taps his skull. And like I say, you're gonna have to dig through and find it. I don't know where it was thrown when the house came down.
Okay, that's very kind of you. Thank you.
So let's come on. If you're good to escort us out, let's get out of this damn forest.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, boys. Let's go see your Uncle Martin. I'm sure he can put us up for a few days while we sort out somewhere new to live. And I assume with that you start escorting them out of the forest.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, and if you go and see the Heralds of Summer's Return, or is it the Knights of Summer's Return? I always get confused. Heralds
of Summer's Return. Aren't they them terrorists that the Winter Guard are always trying to catch?
That's right. Yes, if you go and
you want me to go see them?
Yes, they'll keep you safe from the Winter Guard. You see.
Yeah, terrorist is a strong word.
I mean, one person's terrorist is another person's freedom fighter, but that's getting all complicated.
And you say go see him. Does that mean you know how to find him?
Do you know that's a good point?
If
you happen across them, mention us.
Oh, all right, I can do that. If we ever come across them, if we ever come across some terrorists, I'll be sure to say we know you folk.
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
Might not want to call them terrorists to their face.
That's what the Winter Guard says they are. Elvana says they're a threat to public
everything
security.
the Winter Guard tell you.
And what did the Winter Guard do to help you?
That's a good point, young Missy. They left me and my boys to die, so you're right. Maybe I should be thinking with a bit more. What's the phrase? A pinch of pepper. Taking what they say with a pinch of pepper over the shoulder.
Exactly.
Or you could just leave it at,
yes.
You should be thinking a bit more.
Oi.
I mean, he's just had a house come down on him. Give him a little bit of slack, Owen.
That's fair. Yeah. What a world, what a world.
And he's just about to get charged 1 platinum piece for being escorted to the edge of the forest.
All right, and with that, you escort Karen and his 2 boys out of the forest, and as they turn their backs on the group and disappear into the city, you turn back into the forest, and that is where we're going to end for tonight, folks.
Ooh, are we ever going to get out of this?
Tales from the 20 Side is a Feagle Films production in association with Juicy Falls. Music by Alexander Nakarada and editing by Stu Jackson. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and Discord by searching Tales from the 20 Side or by visiting talesfromthe20side.com.
We bought the house down. Woo!
Yeah.
There's no way Otto would have been happy about that platinum piece.
Yeah, roleplay.
So
roleplay it next time.
I mean, to be fair, Amos, you have gone on record as saying that you don't ever worry about money because you have nothing to spend it on.
No, I'm fine with it. I was saying Otto wouldn't have been happy about it.
Oh yeah, no, Otto would be spitting blue murder right about now, wouldn't he?
Red murder.
That's it.
I would burn the house to the ground if it wasn't already on the ground.
Yeah. Oh dear. Are we ever going to get out of this fucking woods? We keep going in and then going back to the edge, and then going in, then going back to the edge.
Yeah, the next set of people we meet that need saving, we're leaving them.
I was going to say that's been your decision this entire time, is to escort these people out. You could just leave them to their fate. You know,
it's not my decision; it's our wins. The world of difference.